Hey, Brian.
How are you, sir?
Good. Thank you so much for doing this. We've been excited to have you. Thank you. It was last minute. We wanted to get you on further down the line, but you came through for us.
Well, thank you kindly.
Now, we love your music. I mean, the anger management song we just listened to, I think is great. Is anger management dropout.
Yes, sir.
Right. I just love the play on that. I found that most of your music takes even lighthearted to serious contradictions or like things that we always think about but we don't act on and makes it extreme. And I just love how it points out these like little human traits we have.
Well, I probably acted on them. That's why I wrote
Right, right.
it. or try to get something good out of it. Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, thank you kindly. I didn't plan it.
Right. Um,
Uh,
Tell us a little bit about how it started.
Anger management dropout.
Yeah, sure.
Actually, I didn't even make it into the anger management class.
Okay.
I ended up getting the counselor pissed off, and she had the county come to the door, and they investigated, and they looked around, they saw no problem, and they left.
Mm.
My girlfriend said, "Did this woman call?" And I'm like, yeah. They said that woman's got issues, and they said, "Yeah, we've seen all we need to see."
Right.
So I decided I'm a process junkie, so I thought let me
Hmm.
try anger management. So there were no classes available, and this counselor said, "I will start. I'll put you on the waiting list, and I'll start." Seeing you as a counselor, and
Hmm.
then when the class opens up, I'll put you in it. And then she's asking me all these questions. And the woman it's not that she was a woman, it's just that she was controlling.
Hmm.
She said, I want you to drink water. I said, for what? She said, you need to give a 35 cc urine.
Okay.
I was like, I'm drinking a 20-ounce coffee. That's a diuretic. It makes you go. Why do I need to drink a
Hmm.
glass of water? And she said, because I asked you to.
Hmm.
So, needless to say, at some point, I was like, I'm not mandated. This woman's treating me like I'm on trial. So I called up the head of the clinic. I said, I've had some of Nassau County's finest psychoanalysts and doctors and therapists, including social workers. And now this woman is scaring me.
Hmm.
She said, why? I said, because she's treating me like I'm a criminal and I'm here to get
Voluntary.
to get help.
Hmm.
And I said, this woman has a control issue.
Hmm.
And I think she hates men, and I feel really bad for the people that have their destinies in her hands,
Hmm.
because she would make a normal person agitated, putting them on trial, and stuff. So that's when the next day that woman, I think it was it one policeman? There was a county worker, a female county worker, a male county worker, and a cop,
Hmm.
or two cops. So after that, I went, wow. Oh, and the woman told me you're not even on the waiting list.
All right.
So it turned out the woman had lied to me. So
Hmm.
I thought of Grease. They have that song in the movie with Olivia Newton-John and John Travolta, that classic. It said "Beauty School Dropout."
You're right. Right.
I was like, "Beauty School Dropout." I'm an anger
Yeah.
management
Yeah.
dropout.
That's funny. So that's just kind of how it fell into place.
Yeah, and I took all the therapy for anger management that didn't work and put it in the song.
That's great. No, I just love it. I love the idea behind it. I mean, especially if you're not mandated, that's a whole nother animal.
Yeah, I looked up the woman. It's like, wow, this woman's got issues, man.
Mm. Now, what album is this off of?
It's unreleased.
Oh, this is one of the unreleased ones. So, real quick, we put a link, guys, down below where you can download unreleased and songs and songs we're gonna hear also. Right? It's like a
Yeah,
mixture.
eight are officially unreleased, and
Okay.
two are officially released.
Cool. And you get a chance right here on Voodoo Water TV to download them for free. So if you want to go down, check out all the links below.
And if it ticks you off that it's not released, you can get it for free.
There you go. I think it's cool that a lot of people actually like to come on here and do some unreleased stuff. And I think that's really cool. So thank you for letting us do that and sharing it with our fans.
My pleasure.
Pretty cool. Now we have a whole bunch of stuff to go through because you got a tons of music. I mean, how many albums do you have out?
It's I think there are 5 or 6 CDs on Amazon and
Mm-hmm.
eBay.
Right.
Um, for the last, I'm trying to think, probably since 2014, I put stuff out on radio.
Mm-hmm.
You know, whoever, you know, and I said, you know what, screw this. You know, everything is that with the changing music industry. I'm like, screw it. I just want to have fun, share the music.
Right.
And people are like, oh, you're not making any money. I said, the money you save on promotion, you could pay yourself and buy yourself dinner.
Right. Yeah.
So I said, I want people to hear it. If I wanted to make a lot of money, I'm probably in the wrong thing. I do this because I need to, and I have to, and I love to.
You need to, and yeah,
I have to, and I love to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not like Volkswagen, but I am driven.
That's good. I mean, the first album was released 99.
Yeah, something like that. 98, 99. Yeah.
But that wasn't the first. I mean, My Son the Bum, has that always been the start and finish, or no? You've had stuff in between?
No, My Son the Bum. I don't have any children, but my inner child's a bum. So
there you go.
My Son the Bum.
Mm-hmm. Can you actually stay closer to the mic? I feel like
closer to the mic.
Yeah, if we can get it closer to you.
Yeah, man. I got a new mic on a vintage stand, old
nice.
And new.
Nice.
Is that better?
You're really close now.
Now I'm too close.
Now you're too close.
You're saying I got boundary issues.
Spatial relations.
Like this.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I'll move a little closer.
That's it. Cool.
All right.
Mm-hmm. So in between, or your inner child's My Son the Bum.
Right.
So 1999 and maybe before, you had some other projects.
Yeah, it's always it's the same people. It was the same people.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who gives a rat's ass about this except for me, and I'm even sick of it. Do you? But if you want to know,
sure.
My Son the Bum. It was an album cover that said actually the album title was My Son the Bum Beyond Therapy,
mm-hmm.
which became the first My Son the Bum album. And I said, you know, it didn't have my name on it, but it looked like the band, the way the album cover is, it looked like My Son the Bum was the name of the band and Beyond Therapy was the name of the album. I said, that looks pretty cool. So the other session people on there said, we were thinking of a band name. I wasn't going to use their band name, and I will not repeat it.
Okay.
I said, so how about My Son the Bum? So I had 1,000 CDs. I had to change the inner sleeve and use a Sharpie to change it. But yeah, so that's how it happened.
Cool. I like it.
Yeah, I didn't know until I got a text on MySpace back in the day from Surrey University. It said, best band name ever, mate. I went, oh, shit. Am I allowed to curse on this show?
Of course.
Yeah, I'm like, fuck.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize in the UK and Australia, your bum is, you know.
Yeah.
It had a different meaning than bum here.
Mm-hmm.
But it was even better. I'm like, best band name ever, mate. Best name. I'm like, oh, fuck. I totally did not see that.
Yeah. Oh, that's something like, so you actually have fans all around the world. Like you reach a global platform, and you did it through radio.
Yeah, and I used to use Django Radio, which became Radio Airplay. It's not a plug because I like the way it used to be there. Mm-hmm. They used to have before Facebook and everything. People would have their own private email, and you could do a bulk mailing for
like a mailing list
people. Mm-hmm. And people would answer me like, regards from your friends in the Argentinian galaxy.
Right.
And cool. It was cool. So I decided, well, let me give out free album download links. Mm-hmm. And there was a shit ton of people around the world were downloading, like, you're giving away 5 CDs for free. I'm like, yeah, I want people to listen to them. You want a million seller, you have 1 million CDs in your cellar.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I identify with your approach. I feel like this is the world we live in. Yeah,
so I was like, yeah. So that was cool. Mm-hmm. That was fun.
Yeah, no, I think it's great.
A lot of that, even I had a publicist once who did the Ramones for the last 10, 12 years of their career, and they said, how did you get so many downloads? And this was 2012, though, because the world's changed since then. It
was still new.
And I said, yeah, but I gave out all these albums for free, and people were downloading them and passing the links around. So that's what I wanted. I wanted people to listen to it.
Yeah, I mean, you garner a lot of attention with your music videos, and it's probably because you already built the platform there. And the cool thing is
I don't know. I didn't try. Everything happened organically. Is that the word?
organic. Yeah.
It was organic,
Mm-hmm.
not like homegrown weed or anything. I mean,
Right.
just like organic.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't plan on anything. I mean, that flight deck video with the psycho-looking puppets.
Mm-hmm.
There's a YouTube channel called CG Brothers, CGBROS. It's a huge channel, and the only reason I'm bringing it up is there were so many people that were disturbed by that video,
I
and the
love
comments were like ridiculous. Like, this shouldn't be on YouTube. It's going to warp children's minds.
So weird.
And then like I was honored to get like 100 and I don't remember, but there were like 245 thumbs down. I'm like, good, I disturb people. I wasn't supposed to disturb people.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he said you take a sacred holiday and you blaspheme it. I was like,
well, since we're talking about it, should we pull up the website and grab that video?
sure.
Let's do that. Let's see.
It's on mysonthebum.com homepage, second video.
Yep. Actually, I wanted to talk about. I love this. The background and like it's like an old newspaper.
Oh, the Halloween video?
Oh no, just your website. The link you gave me.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Now the first one is Every Day is Halloween, which we'll get to, but Flight Deck for Christmas is just awesome.
This has a new 2019 all guitar, bass, and drum mix. No keyboards on this one.
Very cool. Is there anything else you want to say before we play it?
The Flight Deck for Christmas. This song is for all the people that prefer Christmas to be over.
Right.
Is that bad to say?
No. I feel like well, we'll talk about it after. I love it.
Yeah. Watch the song. I don't want to ruin it.
Cool. All right. That's so funny. People are going to complain about everything, Brian. You know?
Who's complaining about that?
I don't know. You said you had a bunch of people.
Oh no, it was on the YouTube channel. They were. It was fun.
Yeah, I love this. This is so great.
And people were like telling people to like ease up.
Yeah, of course.
It said if you watch Disney, it was funny.
Yeah,
people were sticking up for the song, for the video,
as they should. I mean, one, everything you do is very high production, so it's great. It's so easy to digest. And two, what a fun little thing that everybody thinks about. Like, oh, we're gonna go to the in-laws this year, honey. You know, it's not. You just have. You know, it's like it's an exaggeration on that, and I think that's very people identify with it. I like it.
Oh yeah, that was like somebody said, "Is that anti-Christmas?" I said, "It's pro-Christmas for what people for the unsung."
Mm-hmm. Very good.
This had a world premiere in FearNet, which used to be a large website, which became Sci-Fi and then Chiller TV or something.
Mm-hmm.
But it was it's like right before Christmas in 2013. Mm-hmm. So it was really cool. I was excited.
Yeah, I'm sure it got a lot of attention.
Yeah, it was surprising. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It wasn't even planned to do this video.
Right. Is that the first music video you did with working with these guys in Canada? What are their names again?
Beans and Bueller. They're I think they made like 5 or 6 music videos, and I have 4 of them.
Cool. How cool is that?
They decided to do other things.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they were doing other things before, but this was kind of like on the bucket list, maybe.
Right.
And
so you just lucked out, I guess.
How I found them?
Yeah, I guess they were just looking to do it, and the timing was
no.
right.
That was every story takes too long, but the short version.
Dude, we got all day.
Yeah, but with the video, at some point I thought I have a rockabilly song and a punk rock song. What do I do? They're both 2 totally different niches, and so I thought, okay, I'm going to do a random Google search on internet radio, rockabilly and internet radio punk. And the short version is one of the songs got played on whatever 68 radio out of National City, California, near San Diego. And the rockabilly song got played out of a station that now plays punk, but also plays punk and heavy metal and stuff. And so I looked up the playlist on Podunk Radio out of Texas.
Mm-hmm.
And we were played with a band called right after it was called Kitty in the Casket,
Mm-hmm.
which is well, I don't know if they do psychobilly anymore, but they were from Austria.
Oh, cool.
So they have this. So I was looking up Kitty in the Casket because they had a song called Space Invaders, but with the Austrian accent, it was Space Invaders.
Right.
So it sounded kind of cool.
Right.
So I was looking for more Kitty in the Casket videos when I was in the studio because the engineer kept saying Space Invaders.
Mm-hmm.
You don't hear that? I'm like, oh, I hear it now. But so then I saw in the thumbnails a video by a Canadian. Here we're getting closer to the Canadian video guy. Here, there's the link in this conversation. There's a Canadian psychobilly band called The Creep Show.
Mm-hmm.
And the song, I saw the thumbnail, it says Zombies Ate a Brain. And I said, wow, the song's like 1 minute and 53 seconds. I have to see this video. I went, this is a great video and a great band. I ordered 3 of their CDs at the time, all at once, CD.
Cool. Yeah.
And I was watching their videos and I thought, I can't afford the guy, whoever did this video. Well, let me see who he was.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was a guy named Gavin Black, from Canadian guy. And I looked him up and I found he had a website for Canadian creatives.
Mm-hmm.
And I went back a year later and his name wasn't as prominent on it, but the site was there. So I said, okay, let me look through this list.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked through the videos. I don't know what possessed me because I've never did it before or after. And it was like, okay, I watched this video. Great song, great look, great artist, great production, great video, singer-songwriter male, typical. Next video.
Right.
Oh, great look, great sound, great song, great hook, great video, singer-songwriter female, typical.
Mm-hmm.
Then the next one is like heavy metal. Great look, great sound, great song, great hook, great video, typical.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm scrolling down and I see Beans and Bueller. And I'm like, with a name like Beans and Bueller, they must be good.
Right.
So I was going down the list of alphabetical order. And I saw one of the videos and I went, oh my God, I wonder if that guy does a music video.
Mm-hmm.
So I sent him a message and the rest is history.
That's so cool. And they're using, well, it's funny how things work out, right? Like that little bit of, there's a little string there and you were just tugging at it for like a year, right?
Yeah, I wasn't planning on doing it. Actually, the whole thing with the flight deck video, it surprised me because, okay, I had that video for Death by Texting.
Mm-hmm.
And I had, for the one time, I used a video plugger when I had money to use one. They said, okay, we're going to plug it for 3 months. And the entertainment lawyer got the middle month free because it was around the Christmas time.
Right.
So, which factors in. They're doing Death by Texting. And the guy said, the video plugger, we're going to have a focus group and see what they think of the video. And I said to my girlfriend, I said to Lori, I said, you know what? This is going to be a waste of fucking money.
Mm.
And she said, why? I said, well, focus group. That means politically correct to me. I don't know.
It might.
But yeah, it might, especially if it's with texting and it's going to be corporate with AT&T. I'm like, plus they have their own in-house.
Yeah.
So I'm like, she said, what's wrong with that? I was like, I have the song words, just a texting imbecile.
Mm.
Just another texting moron, a texting imbecile.
Right.
Well, those are the old names for people with low IQ. It was a real diagnostic category, and they don't use it anymore. It just means like, are you stupid?
Right.
Which you can't even say
it's
stupid
like mouth
anymore.
breather.
Yeah. So, and I said, I don't know. It's just whatever. And we have people getting blown up in a car going to heaven through St. Peter's mouth on an iPhone. I said, I hardly think that's politically correct.
Right.
So I'm not going to wait for these idiots. And if they're listening, well, I love you guys. You know,
right.
That's just my term of endearment. If I don't like you, I don't even say anything.
Right. Yeah. I'm acknowledging you. It means something.
Yeah. So I had an idea. I said, you know what? Fuck everyone. I'm listening to myself this time. Fuck the professionals. What the fuck do they know? I'm paying the bill. And I texted the video guy. I said, "Hey, do you think you could finish this video by November 15th?" I knew it would never be done by November 15th, but it
Right.
was done by December 22nd.
That's cool.
So
Yeah.
I gave him a fake deadline because I knew it would never get.
Right.
It wasn't his fault. It says doing a video like that in a month is insane.
Yeah.
So I asked the guys, I said, "What do you think about this?" They said, "Send it to us."
Mhm.
So to make a long story short, nothing ever happened with Death by Texting because it was politically incorrect.
Mhm.
It had the wrong age group, and the puppets weren't wearing seatbelts when they were exploding.
What? They had to wear
Yeah.
seatbelts?
Yeah, that was what the focus group said. But in the meantime, it worked well for me because
Okay.
I said, I don't know the exact details, but I'm paying people for the effort, not the outcome.
Yeah, yeah.
And to try to pitch it and to go through their process and go through their Rolodex or the connection list, whatever they call it now.
Right.
I said, so I sent in the flight deck thing, and the flight deck came in at the last second and stole the game.
Hey, that's great though.
So that's all the whole thing said. And then, so it turned out that flight deck, did really well. What was cool was they ended up with a publicist that did a little push on it. I'm like, wow, well, I wonder who's doing this push. And I looked up the name a year ago. I went, oh my God. I mean, then I was happy.
Yeah.
Because I would have never been able to find, that publicist is
Do you get a name drop or no?
No.
Okay.
I'm not name dropping.
Okay.
No, it's like larger than life publicist.
Well, that's
anyway,
awesome. I mean,
but I'm not name dropping for that. I was just saying in my mind, it was like, this is a bunch of bullshit. It ended up to work out that way.
And your whole music career just seems to be like that.
Yeah.
You just kind of don't. Yeah, you don't have like an overall mission. I mean, you do, but like you just seem to like just follow it. You're just on a journey.
Yeah. I mean, it's like that. I don't know, other than John Lennon, who said it, life is what happens when you're busy making other plans, or somebody more historically. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah, I've heard it before though. I don't know who
did. But I have a song that at the time in 2009, when downloading was a big thing before Spotify and everything.
The streaming, till it switched to streaming.
Yeah, streaming, before streaming. Thank you. I was chatting with a music friend while downloading.
Right.
I've made amends to the music industry. It's not fun. I don't know. I ended up buying 3 Frank Sinatra box sets to make amends. I'm like, oh, who knew I'd have to pay back for these things? But anyway, was chatting with a guy from Germany who told me that he read somewhere in Germany that, I don't remember what part it was, but whatever it was in 2008, it was, said somebody, the feds, wherever, the police, whatever you call it, polizzi, whatever you call it, they showed up at the door. They arrested the guy for downloading and file sharing, and they took his computer as state's evidence. So I had this program called, that I used to block out, Pure Guardian, it used to be called, and it would block out people that would try to catch you for downloading.
Right, like a VPN or something?
Yeah, it was more like a firewall, but it would black out FBI.host, RIAA.host, which is the Recording Institute of American Artists, which is, if you see a gold record, it says RIAA certified.
Right.
It's protected. All that stuff is the RIAA. So I thought, if I can get this program, so can they. And at the time, it wasn't illegal, but it was unethical that if you didn't sell it, you were okay. So I decided to write this song called "The RIAA Took My Computer Away," about a downloading addict. And then in the song was like the person couldn't. They arrested the guy. They put him on house arrest, and he couldn't help downloading. They took away his computer, and he snuck to the coffee shop with his laptop.
He was doing it there
to keep on downloading, and they came and they busted him at the end of the song. He said, like, "When you free me, can I have like my computer back?"
Oh boy, yeah.
So what does this have to do with anything? So I ended up doing the song that was inspired by that guy with the story about that with my downloading paranoia. And like it was 2011 or 12. I'm getting hits on the website from Torrent Freak.
Right.
If the site is still up, it was like I said to my girlfriend, I said, Lori, there's some website in the middle of bumfuck nowhere.
Mm.
You know, must be getting hits off my site. I go to the site and I see endorsements like from Microsoft, Toyota. I'm like, oh, what is this?
Yeah.
And there was an article on does Spotify lead to a decrease in file sharing? And it had a screenshot of the Spotify interface from 2011 to 12. And it had my son the bum, the RIAA took my computer away.
Nice.
In the article. So I figured I'm going to send an email to the guy who wrote the article.
Yeah.
It's Torrent Freak. And I told him to, you know, if you want to give out the song for free, the RIAA can't arrest anybody. He said, what inspired the song? And I said I wanted to write an anthem for downloaders. And what I did was I called up the RIAA themselves and I asked for the president.
Wow. Did you talk to him?
No, but I got a secretary. And the secretary said, oh, that's very nice. I'm new, but I don't know if I can help you. But send me the song and the lyrics. And I'm thinking, what are the chances? And I got back to her 2 weeks later. She said, I'm sorry, Brian. I got two very harsh emails from the upper people saying that the RIAA has no policy on these sort of issues of things. I'm sorry. I tried to help. I was like, oh, no. I said, so now I'm free to put out the song because I wanted to contact the RIAA and send it to them and see what they had to say.
Yeah.
And then, so I figured a rejection from the top people in the RIAA, including the president, was the green light.
Yeah.
So that's
great.
But
so
that was random. So
you did, and so you released it?
Yeah, it's on the 2009 CD. Are We There Yet?
Awesome. I don't think I have that one with me.
It's okay. I have new versions with Mike Worth. I've been working with a different singer producer since 2013, mostly on stuff. But yeah.
Cool. You mentioned flight, the seatbelt. What is it? Texting while driving.
Oh,
do you have that video on your website?
You want me to send you a link real quick?
Yeah, if it's not on is it on your website or no?
No, it's on. There are different versions of it. Just give me a second.
Sure.
I'll get it to you real quick.
And while you do that, maybe I'll shout some people out.
Yes.
Cool.
You do.
Silver Fox, thank you very much for watching, and Ellen Hurst, 2 VIP members. Let's see, Aaron Martin, thank you for watching, and John K, thanks for tuning in, guys. You can grab your free downloads in the description if you want to check out and take it home with you. Some of the My Son the Bum stuff, a lot of it's unreleased, so you get to check out some new stuff.
Hold on.
And also, guys, we Voodoo Water TV's YouTube channel, link below, is starting to archive our live shows. So if you want to go check out there, subscribe, hit the bell, leave a comment, hit the like button. You'll be able to get notified when we upload a new video. We do more than just our live podcast from here. We do commentary. We archive gameplay that we had on our Twitch channel, link down below. And we got Lamp going, Lee and Me podcast, and we got some artwork coming up for that, so a lot of cool stuff.
I was the guy driving in car B. Just another texting moron. Texting imbecile. Just another texting moron. Give it to your cell phones, Will.
It's a good ending for the song.
It is. He just literally just drives around, just flying down the street. Whatever. More power to him. I love that video too. Now that is a different style, obviously. Or is it from the same guys?
Same people.
Okay, but it's a little different style.
Yes.
I like it. I remember when you first showed that to me. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it looked like the female puppet looked like a psycho version of one of those old stop motion puppet TV kiddie shows.
What
Davy and Goliath.
Right, yeah.
It was like the sister looked like that.
Very
It's
cool.
like I didn't know she was going to grow up to text and drive.
Text and drive, right?
Yeah.
But that's a real thing, and I guess they weren't wearing seatbelts, Brian, so it's not politically correct.
I said I thought it was perfect because they didn't even care to put on a seatbelt.
Exactly, they're too busy texting. I mean, really think about it, though. See, that's what I love about your music is that there's real real world application. I mean, like there's humor in what you're doing, but you're shedding a light on a lot of different stuff.
I didn't plan it that way,
But you are. So thank you.
Yeah,
for doing it.
yeah. I mean, with that song, I had no plan on writing that song.
Yeah, it just kind of came out.
And I walked out of when Long Beach had a medical center before Hurricane Sandy cleaned it up.
Mm-hmm.
I was walking down the block, and it was a one-way street, and a person in whatever, a young woman in a business skirt and high heel shoes walked out, walking the opposite way on a one-way street, texting.
Right.
As she walked off the sidewalk.
Jeez.
So, I mean, nobody came, and I didn't know if she knew it was a one-way street or which way, because even people who live there forget what street they're on and it goes down the street. Right. So I thought, wow, she's thinking everybody's going to see her. But what happens if the driver's texting? They're not going to see her because they're texting, and they'll think everyone thinks the other person's going to see them.
Yeah.
And I went, there you go.
Texting while driving.
Yeah. So I didn't plan on it. Then I said, I don't have a problem. I just speed dial.
Yeah.
So
just
I don't
call.
really have a problem texting.
Yeah. I do think I do think it's a real thing though, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it really is, and maybe you're adding to some awareness.
Yeah, I think it was. I forgot. That's funny. I should have these things for driver awareness. It was played. It was on some Time Warner station upstate with like the SUNY Fredonia.
Okay.
New Paltz, Albany, Rochester area. It was something for Driver Safety Week somewhere.
See, you're everywhere, man.
I don't know.
You're all over the map.
I'm in my head. If there's anything out there, it has nothing to do with me.
That's great.
You like that? I don't know. I didn't see the metrics, and even metrics aren't reliable.
No, you can't.
I know they told me it was played. I don't know who saw it.
Right. Well, if one person.
Hey, if even the projectionists decided that they
liked it, right?
Yeah. Don't be insane. Put on the aeroplane mode.
There you go. So I wanted to just play an actual track from the album.
Okay.
Let's see. We did Anger Management, and some of these I recognize as on your website, so I don't want to play like Every Day is Halloween.
No.
We listened to Flight Deck. What's up with Pendulum? Is that a good one? Should we throw that bad boy on?
Yeah, sure.
Would you like to give a little story on that?
Pendulum. Let's see. Well, one day I said, how am I feeling today? I said, I feel like I'm being ground up in the gears of a pendulum clock. It's like, there it is. Starring to bum, happy to glum, stuck in the gears of the pendulum.
Nice.
And there you go.
Cool. And you actually have a band that comes in and records, right?
They're different people. Actually, the Pendulum song has a different story than the other ones.
Mm-hmm.
The short version is I have Matt Graff on drums. He's I'll give him a plug. What's the name of his studio?
Good plug.
He's a great drummer. He's a great drummer. He has 2 recording studios, one in the Bronx and one in I think Long Island City. But this song was on a soft release album originally, and it had a different singer and different drums. And I said, this song did not come out the way I wanted it to come out. So I had the vocals redone. And then I said, the drums, let's try it with Matt. And then I said, I fucking love this song now.
Mm-hmm.
And I sent it out to a musician guy I know in Pennsylvania. And I said, what do you think of these tracks? He said, this one sounds like its own thing. I don't know anything that sounds exactly like that, which was good because he didn't know one drummer from the next.
Okay. So
there you go.
One
guy said, oh, you wrote a song about bipolar disorder. I suffer from that. And I really identify with your song. I was like, cool. I don't know. I really don't know. I try not to diagnose my songs because they'll put them. Never mind.
Okay. So this is Pendulum by My Son the Bum. And what's the name of the album again?
No, this is not on an album.
It's a compilation of stuff, right? You just gave me?
Yeah, they're all unreleased except for Halloween and Death by Texting.
I have some album art that you supplied when the fix breaks with the little puppet guy.
Oh yeah, that's
So I had
not.
that up.
I didn't release the album yet.
Oh, was I not supposed to share that?
No, you can share that. It's
Okay.
fine.
All right, cool.
Why do everything the way it's supposed to be done?
You know what? We get first here on Voodoo Water TV. We're excited for that. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Why not?
All right, we'll see you in a second.
All right.
Starts to swing, they bring the suffering. The things I did in haste, always to sit and watch me face.
That's pretty heavy,
Thank you.
and that's part of the newer stuff.
Yes. Then this version, yes.
It's
Absolutely.
really cool.
Thank you.
So when you say new version, you kind of went through and rediscovered some of your older material.
No, this was on I think a 2009 or 10, just like a college radio only kind of thing. And it didn't come out the way now I love it.
It's so awesome. It's heavy. It's groovy. It's everything you would want from a nice
I
like.
got a guy who grew up playing double bass, so
Well, there you go. That helps. I think I like your music too because you have an edge to it, but you never lose the lightness to it. You have a light touch to your music, and I mean like because it's humorous. You know, we kind of talked about it already, but it's like you have a song about quitting coffee, texting while
Caffeine
driving.
Blues, that's the day of the life of a caffeine addict. Yeah.
You know, so it goes from one extreme to the other, but it's a flight deck being like maybe just some fantasizing. Oh, thank you for the like. Fantasizing about maybe going postal on your in-laws or something. You know, it's like goddamn. You know, so it's
yeah, like I'd rather be eating Kellogg's snack pack assortment right now instead of turkey.
right. You know, so Pendulum came out for why again? You said you felt like you were just stuck.
I don't know. It was something lyrics like the song was like haunting me. And the funny thing about that, for anybody who's into gear stuff, it was a private joke for me because the guitars. I used the Mosrite guitar in that, which is like it was like the surf guitar.
Okay.
I think Johnny Ramone used a Mosrite. But so what I did was I tuned it down to C sharp, which is heavy metal goes lower than that. But I said, let's take a Mosrite, tune it down to C sharp, put it through a 1969 Marshall. Was it trying to remember what head? It was a Marshall.
Right.
It was a reissue of a 1968 Marshall. So you have a surf guitar through the well, the Ramones used Mosrites through Marshalls, but they didn't tune it down to C sharp.
Yeah.
So I thought, well, let's use everything like out of context.
Right. So what do you you love vintage equipment, right? That's your thing.
If when I could afford it, but yeah.
Right. Yeah. So what do you sit down and you have a certain sound? Like, do you have multiple things set up for different sounds, or is it just change over the years?
Wow, that's a good question. The short version is I put most of my money in the studio for recording, so I've had engineers or producers that had good guitar collections, and I have a friend in Long Beach that has guitars, and I get to borrow them for recording.
That's good.
But can you see this guitar?
Yeah.
It's a Stratocaster.
Wood finish.
Well, this is a political guitar. It's got an American body and a Mexican neck, and they both work very well together here on my guitar.
Yeah.
But anyway, and but it's got 3 Mosrite pickups, but they're not really Mosrite pickups per se. It's just the Mosrite pickup shells.
Okay.
But they were hand wound by a guy who used to work for Mosrite. I guess when they went out of business in North Carolina, the people who worked there got paid in parts. I'm not sure. So
yeah,
they had the pickup shells. He wound it to be heavier sounding.
Okay.
So but it's tuned to kind of like it's out of tune, but it's like an open G tuning, but
okay.
I don't really, I just noodle around and they have this little let me see if I pull the shade down. It's like Dan Electro guitar.
Wow.
Yeah. I bought a guitar and an amp, and then my car needed $100 repair. It turned out to be $1,500. So I went into to return everything, and I went into the Guitar Center,
Yeah.
and I saw this on the wall. And I was like, well, it's only $330. I have to buy this. So
what did
I don't really have anything expensive at home.
Mhm.
I used to have a 1956 Gibson Les Paul Jr., but I sold it to help a friend of mine
Mhm.
some years back. But if I had a choice, yeah, but I'm not a snob.
Okay. Yeah. No, I don't think it's a matter of being a snob, but I feel like
No,
most
I
people.
like
Well, most people that are into that, I feel like, in my opinion, become a little snobbish, which I understand.
no, I can't afford that. I can't even afford the case.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, the case, right?
you like the new version of Flight Deck. It has the Mexican Fender Telecaster with the Seymour Duncan hot rod stack.
Okay.
Because Mike Worth loves Mexican Fenders over Americans, and
It's
it's not a
interesting.
political statement.
Yeah.
Well, if you think about it, Fender is made in Southern California,
Mhm.
Valencia, and Mexico is not that far from Southern California, so
Yeah.
it's really I don't know if there's I don't know enough, but they all work fine for me.
Yeah. Well, if it works for you, it works for you. I mean, it works for us. I think we're digging it. I think the guys in the chat like it, which is good. Everything sounds so clear. And so what do you who do you have? You have 2 drummers. You got people come in and do bass.
If you pick a song, if you play Sucked Into the Undertow, it's a short song.
Okay.
That'll have a better story about drummers.
You want to grab that one real quick? Here, let me see.
Yeah, that was a song that was like one of the more it shows you I probably listen to Alice in Chains a little bit, but not exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But I wasn't trying to clone anybody. That was more the singer.
Okay. So let's play it, and then you could.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, I'll tell you about all the drummers.
Cool. See you in a second. Really heavy.
Thank you.
Really good.
Thank you. It's one of my favorite ones.
It's so good. Where did you get the idea for that? You said the singer, kind of.
Oh no. I was pulling off the Meadowbrook.
Mm-hmm.
What does this have to do with anything? Is I wrote the idea for the chorus down on an inspection sticker from my old job at the red light,
Nice.
waiting to get off on Merrick Road. I was like, here I go, sucked into the undertow, and I scribbled it down, and I threw it in. I had a box with all these song ideas.
Okay.
So I kept finding it over the years, and I was like, wow, I think I have enough scraps of songs if I just put it together.
Make
and
one song. Yeah.
And it came out in 4 hours. I think we did the whole thing in like 4 hours.
That's awesome. But what'd you do? You brought it to.
That's MIDI drums.
Okay.
Mike Worth played the drums on the MIDI keyboard.
Okay.
And I don't think he quantized them too much so it doesn't sound unnaturally perfect.
Right. Is that something you guys do a lot?
Yeah, that's what we've been doing lately. I've been having like weekly song sessions with did like 12 songs in the last 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it took me like a lot. I wrote a song about procrastination a long time ago and it finally finished.
Yeah, yeah, right. Well, there you go.
So yeah, but it depends. I mean, I started an album demoing it in like 13, then we finished songs in 18. I went into studio with Bob Stander, who's on Long Island, who recorded the Ricky Burke from Joan Jett and the Black Hearts, and he plays bass and produces it. It's not a plug, but he's great anyway. But I don't give a fuck if he won a Grammy because it wouldn't have been for my stuff. I worked with him before, so I don't give a rat's ass if you have a fucking Grammy. But as long as you play right for the song.
So you got good relations with this guy or no?
Oh, me? Yeah. Well, yeah. You know,
Okay,
you become family. You start fighting like family.
Right, exactly, yeah. Okay, that's
so,
cool.
you know, it's the people you love to hate and hate to love.
Sure.
You know,
so is this
no,
one of
but
the
Bob
people...
didn't do this song.
Okay, all right.
No, Mike Worth did this song.
Mm-hmm.
It was about different drummers. No, this is all Mike. We did it in the studio,
Yeah.
Long Island Sound Studios in Long Island City.
A shout out to them.
Shout out to Mike Worth. Yes.
Do you prefer using a live drummer versus the MIDI, or is this something that just kind of came out of circumstance, like because you were meeting so regularly?
I prefer whatever comes out best.
Right.
I found myself in a situation where it was like, what we're doing now, I believe, is probably have like 17 songs, 18 songs.
Wow.
You know, from that on top of the other unreleased album, but these have all vocals on them. So basically, I think the template for what we're doing, if there is a template, is we'll do it with all the MIDI drums. We'll get all the vocals, all the parts, all the guitars. And then if it needs to be expandable, I mean, Matt Graff, the drummer who played on Pendulums, his studio in Long Island City is a couple of blocks away from Mike Worth's studio in Long Island City.
Perfect.
So it's a matter of, to get that kind of volume of songs done and to get into a flow of recording and to stop to get, I hate to say the pick of the litter because that sounds political too, the A-list, whatever's best for the song.
You don't have to be so focused on it, but yeah.
I'm not. Well, there are 4 different. Let's see. I have John O'Reilly plays drums on a lot of stuff, and John was and then Sean Murray played on some stuff. Mac Raff played on stuff, and then there's the MIDI. Mike Worth playing MIDI drums. So, but I'm working probably with Sean and Matt at the moment, depending on the songs. If I go back in the studio, how do I put it? I've been more into, I write a lot and I have a lot of stuff that I want to record. So I just backburnered doing stuff that probably have 2 albums worth of stuff with all real drummers on it. You know, one album has Sean Murray, one has John O'Reilly on it. And I said, you know, I'm writing all these songs and I like to create them, and so that's where I've been at now. So it's a matter of, to answer your question, I have 2 drummers on 2 different albums that aren't released, that are still in process. And then I opted to work with Mike on a whole shit ton of new stuff.
Right.
Where we have the cyber sessions every week, and they're structured that they are expandable to have a live drummer put
right.
on.
So if it calls for it at some point,
yeah, absolutely.
Well, that's really smart. You know, especially if you want to get a bunch of stuff. If you want to continue going forward without being slowed down, you guys can just kind of crank stuff out.
Yeah, that's the way it's been. I mean, like the Halloween song, we did it in Mike's attic studio when he was in Baldwin. And the irony is, I had a drummer who I respect a lot named Don Hensey on Long Island, great drummer. And he probably lives in Brooklyn or Queens now. But he said, who played drums on this? And I said, I'll tell you after. I said, why won't you tell me? I said, I'll be happy to tell you. And after, he said, who played? I said, those are MIDI drums.
Wow.
So Mike programmed the MIDI drums.
Yeah.
So it was cool. So I don't know, from the point of view of a mix, if you play MIDI drums loose enough that they're not stiff, or regular drums so perfectly. So I don't know from the point of view of the mix.
It's hard to tell. I mean,
it depends on how many samples you have on the drums, and how much gating and whatever else. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, well, obviously this guy knows what he's doing. Everything came out so crisp.
Yeah.
So
the fun thing with Mike was, there's a song that ended up in, I think it's called Dazed the Story, Nikki Palomino. It was a 3-minute short film that ended up, it wasn't so much, I mean, it was nice. It won the #1 experimental film in the 2017 LA Film Award. Okay. But it was more a fact that she had wanted to use one of my songs as a soundtrack, and then it didn't, when they cut the short film. But strange enough, I think it had the directors of Mike and Molly and Will and Grace.
Oh, really?
This thing about the triangle between musicians, love, and heroin addiction.
Right.
So, but it didn't fit. And she said, you have another song. So I tried to come up with what she wanted.
Mm-hmm.
And so I came into Mike's with what I thought. Well, the song was called Syringes, but whatever. So, but the original version was more like, one review was like, this song is disturbing. It sounds like a power pop song, but the lyrics are about heroin abuse. And I'm like, this person it's sick. It's disturbing. I said, good, they got the point.
Right.
But anyway, so I worked with Mike. I came in and I said, I have an idea for this song to redo it and make it sound more like Nirvana Unplugged meets Stone Temple Pilots Creep, but not sounding exactly like that, like in that vibe of grunge. And Mike said, I have a vision. I said, good. This is all I have. Run with it. He said, you sure? I said, look, I promised Nikki Palomino I'm going to try my best to give her a song. My goal is to make her happy and give her a song that she'll love for her film. And he did it. I sent it to her. They loved it. And then we expanded it to have drums. And Matt Graham played on drums. So it was more the workflow was like, I tried to go with whatever the song needs.
Yeah. Well, that's good. I think it shows. And it also makes everything distinct from one another.
I try not to think about that.
Well, yeah.
It's stank. It's got the stank.
Distinct. Yeah.
I know. Bad fun.
It's all good. I think they're very distinct. I think the way you approach the visual side of things is very interesting. There's no wonder that you do have a global audience, which is cool.
I don't know.
Which you don't even, I do. As a personal observation, like we talk about algorithms and like mailing lists and all that stuff, but like at the end of the day, you're like, well, I don't really care. Not that you don't care, but you're
I built up the mailing list. I said, fuck it.
Yeah.
Look, from my experience with Facebook ads and all these things, I actually find the YouTube ecosystem more interesting than what the music business.
Right. Well, yeah.
It's crazy what goes into it. I mean, to do that, like you could see something that has a shit ton of views. Like, I'm not saying that this one. I did a Facebook promo, and it's just a matter of how people like cheat with statistics or lie with metrics,
right?
Or how they're unreliable. Like, I did 750 people watched the video, but I went to Facebook metrics,
right?
And I'm not a metrics guy, but I instinctively got fascinated with how many people watched how many seconds of the video.
Yeah, that's a big part of it.
Yeah, but 750 people saw 0.05 seconds of a video.
Right. So what does that mean? They scrolled by it? Did they stop and look at it?
It means that I think that the algorithm reads how long it takes to load the video. Now videos are read by that the video got loaded. It used to, I'm not sure. At least with the promos, but
are you saying?
I just decided,
are you saying that before, when they first made the algorithm, it would count?
I think YouTube, it used to be 10% of the video before you got a like. I don't know what it is now. That's before Facebook had videos. But I do know, like with YouTube, if people want to monetize a channel, they need 4,000 hours in the last year of view time.
Yeah,
and they look at the algorithm, looks at the percentage viewed of each video.
Yeah.
And if you go into YouTube metrics, it'll tell you how many people watched how many seconds, how many times, where people rewound it, fast forwarded it, dropped off and skipped it and stopped watching it. So I said, I see all this stuff on Twitter with all this stuff and Facebook and the metrics. I'm like, I'm just going to create. I don't sit here
hard to get
design stuff for a bot.
That's if you spend your whole time trying to make it correct for the algorithm, you're really just playing to a bot.
Now they'll change the algorithm,
and then they'll change it.
Yeah. Well, I subscribe to newsletters. I don't really read the newsletters, but I see the subject line like, Facebook algorithm changing again, YouTube algorithm changing again. I'm like, but I think I've always kind of been like that. I mean, Death by Texting was like, if there's something that I could do that feels like the right thing, I'll do it. But there's just too much of everything. I mean, there's a
lot to do. That's why people have teams to sit there and focus on this stuff.
Yeah. It was just like, how do you look inward and outward at the same time without
I
going
don't think
crazy.
you do. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Me personally, have been focusing on the podcast, and like getting into a little bit of YouTube, and I'm looking into some streaming services for like my podcast. And it's been different, a different viewpoint than it was as a musician.
Yeah. The good thing about YouTube is, like, if you use a tool like TubeBuddy,
Mhm.
and you can find out how to pick the wide hashtags and the narrow hashtags, and test your titles so it has a higher likelihood of ending up in the search results and in the recommended.
Yeah. See,
I found that fascinating. I was watching this,
Yeah.
from like 23-year-old female YouTubers to,
Mhm.
guys that definitely are, I don't know, they're, older. I found it pretty interesting.
Mhm.
But
I don't know. I don't focus too much on that stuff. Like, I try to keep it all.
no, I
right,
understand.
But I kind of have the same philosophy, though. It's like, I'm doing this for me. I'm not really trying to sit here and cater to a bot. I don't pay for promotion or anything. Like, so if it's all about people sharing it, liking it, and spreading it, and coming back every week. And I'm just seeing how far that will go before I spend any money.
I think that's recommended to do the organic reach first, because then you won't be able to have a baseline.
Yeah,
And I don't mean boom, 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 have a baseline.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Mm-hmm. No, but I think it's so important.
I mean, I was curious about that because I don't usually play too many leads or anything
Mm-hmm.
in these songs. But I mean, I grew up playing them. But if I did a YouTube channel, I search out some of the guitar players that I like Johnny Winter or Alvin Lee and stuff, where there aren't a shit ton of, or many, and I'll record, try to do that to try to pass it on if somebody wants to learn how to play something. But I don't write songs like that, and I don't play those kind of things that I grew up playing partially.
Yeah.
But for a YouTube channel, it's a narrow niche to play like.
Well, that's not really a bad idea, though.
No, I would do that, but I do that because of the love of it, and I want to put something back. And since they're gone,
See, and there you go. And I feel like that mentality is what will actually drive people to watch it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
For some reason, I feel like that is the genuine. Beats, or I would like to think that it beats the guy sitting there with the
I
algorithm.
can tell you, if I love the algorithm sometimes. I mean, from being a viewer, like I was working on some songs that I had, that I said, I don't even think I have a plan on doing them. I just wrote them because I felt like expressing. I didn't know what I felt, and when I wrote it down, I said, "Oh, that I must be feeling that."
Right.
And I was watching an algorithm. The algorithm gave me this like 70-something-year-old guy in a his flannel shirt, in front of his, Knotty Pine den, playing a Bee Gees cover.
That's cool.
Of their first hit that was never released as a hit in this country, and it was primarily a piano song. And I'm like, why is the algorithm giving me this? I mean, not that I haven't listened to any Bee Gees stuff in between Lamb of God. I mean,
Right.
I have to clear my ears out. So sometimes maybe after a lot of Lamb of God, I'll put on listen to something a little bit mellower.
Yeah.
But I said, that's a pretty cool progression. And if I Ramones it out, it worked in another song. And it sounds, and since that song was a piano song, it totally transformed the song. And it was 2 and 3 in the morning. I'm like, why am I seeing this dude playing a Bee Gees cover of a piano song on guitar?
Right. Well, were you watching a bunch of stuff? And then,
yeah, but I wasn't expecting.
Isn't that weird?
Somebody doing a Bee Gees cover of a song.
That's what happens. I find some interesting people that way. I'll just keep watching like a trend of videos, and then all of a sudden it's like, whatever. This is how you milk a goat. It's like eventually, for some reason, you get to that weird side of YouTube.
Yeah, I have YouTube Premium.
Okay. What is that like?
What is like?
Mm-hmm.
What I like about YouTube Premium for $10. Well, I have it at $10. I think it went up to 12 or 13, but no commercials. You could download stuff and save it at least on your phone,
Mm.
which is cool, and that's enough for me.
Do you think premium,
You can-
like, how does that work with content creators? I mean, they make their money through ad revenue. So what happens?
I don't give a rat's ass.
No, I know. I'm just wondering. What do you think?
How do they?
Oh, well, I wonder how it affects them.
A lot of, you mean independent artists?
Just content creators on YouTube relying on ad revenue.
Okay, you want to know how content creators? Most of the content creators that I see on YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
they have really interesting topics. Like one of my, I support some on Patreon.
Okay.
Like one of them
Who do you
is the
support?
Punk Rock MBA,
Okay.
and the guy's amazing. The guy grew up being a skate punk guy in Washington, and he also ended up is a graphic designer who decided to go into business and thinks that, you know, you could be punk and still make enough money to eat and still be punk. So so I'm one of the said, why would you do that for $20 a month? Because I like the exclusive content. I like, you know, he has the podcast, so that's what I do with that guy. And so what happens is he has good topics. A lot of them do, whether they're instructional or opinion or how to play that's instructional, but there's such a wide range.
And you're saying that's how they support themselves?
No, but what they do is if they get enough views, they have affiliate marketing links in there.
Yeah.
So it'll have all their gear. I use this microphone and this mixer and this camera and this interface. And if people click through that, or I use these kind of guitar strings, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And if you click on the affiliate marketing link through their channel, because they'll get a certain percentage of that.
Right.
And that adds up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, I mean, they have their merch, but I think they make more money from affiliate marketing. And I think that more people, I'm not sure, but I haven't met anybody, even recording producers that pay $10 for, you know, they'll spend $8 on a coffee at Starbucks, but they won't spend $10 on YouTube Premium.
Okay, so
I'd rather make my own coffee and get YouTube Premium.
Right.
But they make their money on the ads for the people that do watch it, and the people who have affiliate marketing. Like, okay, you have your podcast, you have your microphone, and I don't know how you sign up. You get 4,000 hours of watch time and meet the requirements, and you put up your rig, your headphones, your mic stand, your microphone, your cables, your interface. And then if people click through your page and you say click on more, and you'll see my gear, and feel free to click on that, and it'll help support the channel.
Right.
And then people buy something through them instead of looking up what you buy, and then on Amazon or wherever they have, or Sweetwater or Musician's Friend or wherever they have affiliate marketing links.
Well, it's like, you could buy this mug from my merch store, description down below.
Yeah, you could do that.
Yeah, you could do that, right?
Yeah, sure. You'd be surprised how many people say, that's a cool looking microphone. How much is that? Right. I know somebody that wants to start a podcast. I'll give them it for Christmas.
No, I know. Yeah. I was just, I guess, I don't know. I just was wondering, like, oh, well, if they're selling, basically paying for ad blocking, that's got to affect
No, that
somebody.
wasn't ad blocking. If they didn't block the ad, you don't get them.
No, so I understand that. But what I mean is, like, you're taking away.
Understand.
Yeah, but whatever. Let's see. You have another music video available.
I will buy your mug.
Oh, yeah?
Without seeing your ad on where's your ad on YouTube? I
don't have one yet.
So I can't be blocking it.
yeah, not me. I'm a Facebooker.
So what happens? Okay, what happens with Spotify? The people who are freemium are stealing money from artists too?
I don't know how that works, but there was a lot of controversy like 4 years ago that like T Swifty and like all these big name, like Taylor Swift, all these people were getting like ripped. They were losing money from Spotify.
I'll be honest with you. If I wanted to do all that, I would do something else to make money. I wouldn't be doing this.
Yeah, but some people do make money off it, right? So someone like Taylor Swift's probably a little upset that Spotify didn't give them their money.
Yes, this is the question I dodge. All the negativity about the music industry.
How do you feel about the music industry, Brian?
This is very strange times. What do I
Yeah.
feel?
Yeah.
I don't know what I feel about the industry. If you think about it, in at least I think about it this way.
Mm-hmm.
If you went back even before they had YouTube and people would only be seen by people in their local area or maybe on a news group. You could find something.
Yeah.
And I'm not knocking that at all. I mean, I drove down Foxhurst Road and there's a band playing loud enough that you can hear it. And they used to play in clubs.
Right.
So it depends.
Mm-hmm.
I've read some interesting stuff that, it'll weed out the people that do it because they have to do it and the ones that just think it's a quick way to get notoriety and money and perks, whatever their perks are.
Yeah.
And they'll find another way to get those perks if the music isn't primary.
Mm-hmm.
And the people that do it because they have to do it and they'll do it for free. You think about it. I mean, I forgot what artist it was. It was a famous artist, but they asked her, how do you feel about people downloading your music on this remote island somewhere? Female singer-songwriter, famous. I forgot I don't remember her, who it is.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, I'm happy about that. They said, but you're losing money. She said, those people have no way to get my stuff. I'm happy that they're listening to it.
Right.
But see, if you ask me, there's a great rock band from Greece called Def Radio. So I'll give them a plug.
There you go.
Great songs, great musicianship. I wouldn't limit them to say Queens of the Stone Age, but they're definitely great songs, great musicians, great production, great artwork. I bought 2 of their CDs through Bandcamp from Greece.
Cool.
And paid from postage from Greece. But if you ask me, I buy people's CDs. I don't buy the download unless they don't have the CD. I would prefer to. I can only talk about what I do. What I think about everything else. I mean, I don't know what other people do. I have no control over what they do. But what I do, where I do have a voice and I do have a choice.
Yeah.
Not to rhyme.
That was good.
Yeah, I buy stuff from independent artists. I was supporting
The physical goods.
Physical goods, yeah.
What's the difference?
I bought my share of T-shirts, and
But what's the difference for you? Like if it was CD versus download?
I would rather have a CD.
Okay.
It comes with a free download anyway.
Yeah. But why though? I'm just curious.
Why?
Mm-hmm.
There's something about getting something in the mail.
No, I agree. There's some like
I like vinyl, but if I buy a really good turntable, my recording budget is going to go into vinyl, and I know that. So I can play CDs in my car. I like the remastering on vinyl if they do it. I mean, on CD if they do it accurately.
Right.
I like to listen to stuff in the car on loop because if I'm driving, I don't sit. My time perception is different. If I'm sitting in front of the computer and I know I have 10 million songs that I'm never going to get to listen to,
right?
I feel like I can't even really enjoy. I'm like, is the song over yet?
I gotta get to the next
play
one.
Stuff twice as fast.
Right.
Saying, I know what it sounds like. Let me make believe it's live and speed it up on YouTube.
Wow.
You could speed up stuff on YouTube.
Yeah,
I listen to podcasts. I put it on double speed and speed listen because I'd be old and dead.
Yeah.
I speed listen.
Okay. Speed listening.
I think that for me, there's a certain weird sense of inferiority that another era didn't have. You buy 10 albums, you can play 10 albums. You go on here and you'll never have closure on listening to everything on YouTube.
Right. No, I know what you're saying. Yeah. So maybe
it's like there's so much to consume and you never could do it because you don't. Then I face my mortality. Like, how many years do I have? How many things are there to listen to? Then there's the regular version, the remastered, the second remaster, the box set, the outtakes, the alternate ones, the live version. And I'm like,
You drive yourself crazy like that.
Why not?
Why not?
Why not? But what I'm saying is I buy something. I've been through different things with this. I've read different studies. I mean, about in the industry, like through Torrent Freak. It was a judge. I don't remember. Actually, there was a study done about bootleg movies decrease sales, and the judge said, actually, the proof is that bootleg movies actually have led to an increase in DVD sales because people downloaded the movie, they liked it, and then they wanted a higher res version.
Right. So
or they wanted the bonus footage, whatever. And then they went out and bought it because they were tired of buying movies. It was kind of like a way to sample it.
Right. You're getting the low res. Sometimes it's a little off.
Yeah, but I think from what I've read, it's like, what's your niche? Like, you want bands? I'll get you bands from South Africa you could interview.
Right. Yeah. Cool.
You know, I'm like kind of follow a lot of independent bands. You see that that little mural in the back?
Yes.
It says Kroll. That was done by the drummer from a band called the Great Electric Quest out of Southern California, Oceanside.
There you go.
California. They played in Europe, the UK, the Netherlands. They finally, they did their thing. And Mucho Drums is the name of the drummer.
Cool. Mucho
and
Drums.
He does his printing. So if you like that, look up Great Electric Quest, Mucho Drums or Mucho Printing. Well, that might be a lot more with that name, but Mucho Drums. Great band, great drummer, old school heavy metal. They played at like Psycho Las Vegas, and and then there's a band I love out of Netherlands called Drive By Wire. So what I do is I just try to see if I see blogs, I'll send it to a band that I think their niche would fit. I don't do it. I got so tired of sending my own stuff. It made me more excited to send people a radio promo list and said, here. And they're like, band in Sweden, thank you. We wouldn't have gotten the airplay. I didn't do it because I just thought, I don't know, I felt like doing that.
That's cool. So you spend some of your time helping out other...
Yeah. I did that, and I ended up with a special thanks on the album. I was like, wow, I got a special thanks?
That's cool, man.
Even like the head of certain independent labels, if I know they like certain bands and I find a cool
you'll send it their way.
Or I send it to the president. I know my music isn't going to be on their label because it's not the right niche for that label.
Yeah. So
but I know that they also love music that would never be on their label either.
Right.
So it's a matter of like, oh, so-and-so would like that as a fan.
Yeah. No, that's cool.
Keep the magic in it so I don't get like bitter and jaded and like, because I listen to so many interviews of people, bands like I love and like, okay, you take Steve Harris from Iron Maiden.
Yeah.
If you read an interview, he'll still tell you how he didn't like the production on the first Iron Maiden album. And he said, I know some people think it's our best and some people don't care and they love it more than anything, but I still wish we had Martin Birch, who did from Killers all the way through to his retirement, who used to do Deep Purple. And his thing was, he didn't know that Martin Birch would have produced their first album because they didn't think they were big enough. And he said, I would have loved to have done your first album. That even people have regrets of that level.
Wow.
It's crazy.
No, that makes sense.
Or like the Deep Purple album made in Japan. The current singer Ian Gillan, who was in that lineup, said, I still can't listen to that album. It was supposed to, the record company said they were going to do it for Japan only. And we like reluctantly said, okay. And then they went global on us. And it's like back as the Machine Head tour. And there's certain things. So I don't know. I've seen people that have everything that other people could dream of, and they're still angry and bitter. So I don't know if it's happiness, fulfillment. It's like a Twilight Zone.
Well, I think it's cool that you give back and that you network with people and for people on people's behalves. I think that's really cool. I think it's the way it should be.
I don't really think about it. I don't know. Every time I try to follow a plan, it doesn't work. So everything is
just kind of doing it.
Look, I found my first lead guitar teacher. I went to Sam Ash, and the guy was playing. And I said, "Do you give lessons?" He's like, "Yeah." I said, "Do you come to the house?" He's like, "Where do you live?" I'm like, "Oceanside." He lived in New Hyde Park. He said, "Get some of your friends together," and he did, and that's how I learned how to play. I found the guy there. He's playing. I'm like,
"That's awesome."
How did I meet the current producer? There's a guy I knew. I remember. I think he was 11 and I was 19, and I didn't handle alcohol well. So It was at a gig, and his older brothers were playing. I was playing with one, and his other brother was with another guitar player from Lou Reed's band. And I'm throwing up. What does this have to do with my current producer? This guy's like, I'm telling you're throwing up. I didn't. Well, that was whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So what does this have to do with anything? Years later, like it's like 7 years ago, 8 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
I ran into the guy, and he had been part of Linkin Park's road crew. And what does that have to do with anything? He was currently producing a rapper, and I said, you know anybody to teach me Pro Tools lessons? Give me lessons.
Mm.
And he said, yeah. So I thought, let me try Pro Tools. So I get a teacher, 23-year-old teacher who's now 31, and he came over giving me lessons, and I did the same thing I did when I was 10. I didn't practice, and I tried to learn each lesson at the next lesson.
Right.
And here's this guy coming over saying, what are your goals?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, you're fucking asking me my goals.
Right.
I said, well, I want to write and demo and organize songs to record.
Yeah.
He said, I'm willing to do that for the same price of your lessons. If you want me to keep taking your money and teaching you the same lesson every week, I'll do that too. And he became the guy who's on like 80 songs.
Cool.
So how did I find him? I said, I give up. Let me take Pro Tools lessons.
Yeah.
Try to learn how to do a demo on my own. That didn't work out. And I end up with the whole last minion of songs, all from my failed Pro Tools lesson.
That's awesome.
So I'm thinking, I'm a loser. I can't do Pro Tools. There are 8-year-olds that could do Pro Tools.
Mm-hmm.
What's wrong with me?
Yeah.
And I ended up with a producer. If I was good at Pro Tools, I wouldn't have had him co-producing, collaborating, and singing.
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't necessarily like. I can't stand using that stuff. All these audio interfaces, I can't. I don't know what it is. I just can't do it.
The interface is easy. It's what's on the other side of the program.
I can't do any. Give me video editing stuff. For some reason, I'm way better at that. I'm better at this. I don't know why.
It's a good thing that teams are made up of people, hopefully, that do what they do best and like what they do best.
Exactly. Yeah. Let's
go
ahead.
You don't want to have a person who speaks in encyclopedias to write fortune cookies.
Right.
Go ahead.
Let's throw on one of your last video. I think it's the last video you have on your website.
Which one is that?
Halloween. Want to put that on? Okay. Let's throw that bad boy on here. Let's see if I can make this.
It's only like 3 minutes and change.
Here we go. Right? Like me, follow me. Let's do like me, follow me.
Follow me, like me. Okay.
Follow me, like me. Yeah, I love this one. Who comes up with these ideas, man? It's so cool.
For the video guy?
Yeah.
I can say his name, right? This guy named Ryan Darwin. He did all that. That's his baby.
Very cool. And he did the concept to the actual animation.
Yeah, that was his baby.
Oh, cool.
I said, make it great, whatever you want, do it.
Mm-hmm. I love it. It reminds me of like older things where like things would just happen. You know, like it just starts. You don't know where it's going. Like I liked how he like made the gun. Yeah,
he's a genius, I think. To me, I was like, wow. I've seen the storyboards on the videos. He's one of the most creative and original people I've ever met in my life. I never meet him in real life.
Yeah.
I've spoken with him on the phone a lot.
Yeah. Has he done any?
He does other things.
Okay. Has he done any other work for you, or is that the only one?
No. There's another video that's unreleased.
Okay.
I have actually trying to think. I have like 5 unreleased videos, but I started using someone else because these videos, in order to do them right, required a budget that I wasn't able to do, and it wasn't, it wasn't fair to Ryan to have to wear every hat all the time.
Yeah.
So
you need a team.
Yeah. So, yeah. So
Okay.
maybe one day in the future, if there's ever a budget, I would do more, but I have more videos.
Now, are you able to monetize any of these videos?
That seems to be a topic that more people ask me than I think about.
Because you seem like you got a lot of traction.
If the people have channels that naturally bring in an audience that's built in,
Mm.
then it's easier, I think. See, to me, every song, I would call it niche consistency. I don't know. Every song seems different to me.
Right.
So let's say you take a band like the Ramones, to me is like the quintessential. They have a niche.
Right.
And if you love them, you love pretty much what they do. I don't feel like I have that kind of niche consistency to, what would they call it, attract and keep people across the whole spectrum of stuff that I create.
Mhm.
And I think it would personally, I'm not good at cookie cutter creating things like formula stuff.
Right.
So how do I put it? I think if it happens by accident or organically to some extent, then that's fine. I've watched a lot of documentaries, and a lot of people just seem to step into things.
Yeah, that's kind of how it goes.
Like I have my brother has a friend of his that ended up in film archives.
Mm.
It turns out a long time ago, a homeless guy, and nothing against homeless people, had all these films that were kind of rare, and he was selling them out of a shopping cart.
Oh, geez.
And my brother's friend was walking down the street,
Mm.
and he just happened to have enough money to buy the films, and it started an archive. And he was driving down the street around here on his bicycle, and he ended up finding people were throwing out films, and it just happened to be films that were historically significant, let's just say, to keep anything else out of it. And then there were other people who knew he was into that, and they're like, there are these 2 storage units or bins or 3 in New York City or wherever it was, Brooklyn, and whoever had them, they didn't pay their rent. All these films are going in a dumpster.
Oh, shit.
So if you want them, we'd rather you have them than have them go in the dumpster. But he didn't set out for any of that. It just seemed to happen. His whole life seemed to be these synchronistic events that kept him on that path.
Mm-hmm.
If you know what I'm saying. So I didn't expect to find the video guy. I didn't even expect to find the people, the original musicians from My Son the Bum. I found them through an ad that my old roommate had in a music paper. I answered the phone. Didn't even know my roommate was a singer because he didn't tell me. And I ended up through the bottom of the funnel getting a referral from the person who called for the female background vocalist ad for her studio. I found the musicians, and then it all came out of a phone call from an ad I didn't place. And my friend didn't get any female backgrounds. He didn't get anybody from the ad, but I got My Son the Bum.
That's so funny.
From the rap. So I put in ads and I didn't find anything. My roommate puts in an ad years ago, and I ended up, people, how did you meet these people? I said, my roommate had an ad that nobody called, and I ended up with My Son the Bum.
That's awesome.
From one of the people that did call.
It's just the way it's supposed to be.
So I don't know. I didn't plan on doing the videos. I had a publicist that said, Brian, you have to do videos. I'm like, I'll never do videos. I'm old school.
Yeah, but I'm so happy you did.
Yeah, well, she said, I misinterpreted what she meant. It's 2012. She said, I put together a video called Money is the Whip, which is it's kind of cool. It's probably pertinent for what's going on now. If you look up My Son the Bum, Money is the Whip.
Mm-hmm.
It's really a weird collage of animated clip art with it's really cool. And I have the lyrics with a follow the bouncing penny because the song's about money.
Oh, I think I've seen that video.
Yeah, but the point is, the publicist who had said, who had done the Ramones said, you need a video. She meant just take Windows Movie Maker and just upload images. You have to have something. I thought, if I'm going to do it, I have to do it something I could be proud of, because it'll be lost in perpetuity in cyberspace.
Right.
I had no idea that that video got locked under the old YouTube. So it's up there and I can't even take it down. So it worked out fine that I said, I'm doing something that I feel, is creative.
Yeah.
And even the video pluggers said, that's pretty creative. Who did that video? I said, I did it with my friend.
That's cool.
I got the licensing for certain images to use. And I had another friend of mine who was the ad guy at College Music Journal. And he did the animated clip, whatever. So, for the monetizing, there are plenty of cool videos. I found it pretty fascinating, the whole thing, but I try not, think about that, because I think of people spend money on vacations. Not anymore, at least not now.
Not really.
They spend money on all kinds of things. I spend the money on creating instead of buying Starbucks.
Hey, this is the same thing I do. I've been building this set, trying to, increase the quality here of production. And I kind of chalk it up to, well, I could be blowing my money on other shit. I could just be spending it. At least I'm putting it to something that I like doing. It's creative.
Cheaper than collecting gear.
Do you
know that there's really a disorder called gear acquisition syndrome?
I'm sure there is. Most bass players have it.
And some of my friends have it.
Yeah.
I said they prefer to think that they're supporting the global economy.
Yeah. Well,
right? I don't have gear. I have global access syndrome. I'm supporting the
global access,
the planet.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
It's a green. You're part of the green program. Instead of introducing new stuff, you're recycling, reusing. Brian, man, thank you so much. I feel like that's a good spot.
Yes.
I learned a lot about you that I didn't know. There's some fascinating stuff there. And this video will be available on YouTube at some point.
YouTube, BoobTube.
Yeah.
I did put a video up. Yeah, I was being defiant. I had an animator. I said, I'm putting up the unfinished version on Facebook, until you do to motivate him to do the final one. So I put up the unfinished one, which everyone thought was finished. He just redid the whole video.
Right.
So then I ended up with 2 videos. So I put it up on my Facebook feed.
Nice.
You'll find it there. I thought that's defiant. I'll put it on my Facebook feed.
Yeah.
Why bother?
Right. Is there anything you like to tell the people? Any new things to look out for? Anything you want to direct them to? And thank you for the free content, for the free downloads.
Yeah. If anything, thanks for listening this far. If you like anything, there are 10 songs with a free album download link, and I forgot there was artwork in there too.
There is artwork. There you go.
If you like it, sign up for the mailing list, and when I finish the next batch, you'll get that free too.
Cool.
And spend the money on someone you love. Take them out for lunch.
There you go.
Instead of buying my music, treat somebody that you love to a cup of coffee.
Hey man, it's all karma. You'll get it back.
Yeah, I said, Ma, can I borrow the car? I
Right.
said, why? I said, somebody told me it's all about karma.
Yeah.
I know that's really bad.
Come on.
They're going to say it should be car dad now.
Car dad, yeah.
Karma is it's not giving dads their due.
Yeah, you got to be equal.
You have to be fair now.
Yeah, you have to be fair, yeah.
Just like your headphones, there's a left and a right speaker, and you have to have both parents, people to borrow cars from.
As always, man, it's been very interesting. And I'll talk to you soon, dude. I appreciate it, Brian. Thank you very much.
Thanks for having me.
No, it was a pleasure. Thank you.
Thanks for saving me from family members and dinner today.
You got it, man.
All right. Take care.
Later.
Bye.
Well, guys, another episode done. That was so exciting to have Brian on. Really appreciate him coming on the show, and I learned a little bit about him. He's got a slew of music videos and music available, and there's free downloads down in the description if you want to check that out. And again, thank you very much, Brian. Guys, we got Lee and Me podcast coming up, so go find the trailers on YouTube, Lee and Me podcast. It's pretty funny. I'm kind of getting over my brother a little bit, but we'll work through it. I'm editing up the first official video. And just an update, guys. We got new channel art being worked on as we speak, so we'll have some new stuff for you guys soon. That means new merch, new everything. And every week's live video we're going to have up on our YouTube channel, and you can see the link below. And we're going to have to start playing some games soon. We're thinking about doing Paper Mario. So if you're into video games, should be Mondays at 8 p.m., but we'll see. But all the links are down below, guys. Follow Instagram, follow Twitter. We got Christopher Russo from Q to Pilot. You guys remember Q to Pilot? Fantastic band. We had Ty on episode 3. So Chris is the high-end vocals and the keyboardist, so we're excited to have him on next week. And then we have Jennifer Walker coming on after that, and she has a podcast called We Built This, and it's really cool. It's about entrepreneurship. She goes, it's a different style podcast, but it's really cool. She looks like she looks at like how people started businesses and how they worked them up. And I encourage everybody to go check that out. So she'll be on. I don't have the dates in front of me, but I am very excited for the end of the month. I got Gary Batan of VideoGuys.com coming on, and that's going to be a really good one. I'm really excited for that. Really smart dude. We're going to talk a little bit about the economy. We're going to talk about education and live streaming. So yeah, we're chock full of stuff coming up, guys. So I'm very excited, and thank you again, Brian, from My Son the Bum. This was last minute, and I think we did all right. I think we did okay. And let me just shout some people out. Let's see, Mama Fox, thank you very much for watching. She's a VIP member. Silver Fox and Ellen, thank you very much for watching. Also VIP members. Let's see. Aaron Martin, thank you very much for tuning in. And John, thanks for checking it out, guys. And I appreciate all the likes and shares. It means the world to me. You guys have been supporting me. And yeah, let's play out a song. And again, guys, like and share, Twitter, Instagram, all the good stuff, and subscribe on YouTube for any updates and stuff. This is Between a Frog and a Fall by My Son the Bum.